Greetings everyone, and welcome back to another one on the Craftopia server. And I have done some more progress so we can easily do our next objective. So we're going to go right back into our laboratory. And you could see that I have did some redecoration. Well, this here was supposed to be an area where I was moving all the baby villagers down here. And you're probably wondering, what does that take you to? So if you go down here, you can see that I have everything set up and something just died here. And if I open this map, you can see that I have set up a little iron farm. Because I did steal some iron from the locals and they didn't like it at all. So I made my own and it should do what it's supposed to do. And in this chest, you can see that we have iron for days. And I might as well just take a few because I need it to make some more refined iron. And this will make it a lot more easier for us to make the nano set and anything related to Tech Reborn. And I'm just glad that this is set up. And over here, I was trying to think about doing storage, but it's very complicated. So if I check, I think it was like redefined storage or something, or refined storage. I don't know what the name is, but I have to try to make my head to remember. So we do have refined storage, and it looks like it requires power. Looks like a type of weird type mod. And let's see here. Machine casing, 1K storage part. I'm not sure if this stuff requires energy to work, and it looks very familiar. So familiar that it has these cables. This kind of reminds me of Applied Energistics. I mean, that's a coincidence. It just kind of feels like that. But we have here is the Industrial Blast Furnace. And I have been collecting the materials. And what I have made was the solid canning machine. The, what else is in here? The rolling machine to make the copper nickel. And I forgot to add some extra upgrades here, but the rest of everything has been jumping because I have upgraded everything with the overclocker upgrade to make my machine move a little bit faster. So we have a benefit of making things faster, and we also have more nickel. And I realized that I could just get nickel from collecting copper, because I just never knew that all I just need was some copper to make nickel. They kept saying you can use gold and iron, but copper was more redundant than iron and everything else. So we now have solved the whole nickel problem. And the funny thing, the sun is going down, so we may as well just sleep through the night so we can see what we're doing, because I don't want to work out when it's night. And great, I can't sleep in the bed. Oh well, what this means, we're just going to have to stay up and do some experiments. But anyways, we're going to go right back to the Industrial Blast Furnace. And now this has been crafted. And let me open this garage here. You can see that we have a plane and we have our car here. So we can either roll around or fly around. I'm not sure when I'm going to fly around, probably to pick up some loot or something like that. But that might be on the table. And we're going to place this Industrial Blast Furnace. Smelts tough metals under extreme temperature. And I have a feeling that we may have to get lava for this. But I don't know, because it's been a while that I have actually used Tech Reborn. So now we have what's a steel. So we have to see here and look at this. So I will have to turn this in another direction, because this is literally no room just for this contraption to be anywhere. So all I just need is a lot of these casings here. And I need to know what casings they are. So let me just type in the catalog tech. And I just have to look for that specific casing. And I believe this is the casing for this blast furnace. The standard machine casing. All we need is either refined iron ingot or iron plates or aluminum. Because this is one way to get aluminum is through the blast furnace. So if we make this, we can use aluminum instead of iron. So we're saving more on iron, and then we can just keep using aluminum. So we're going to have to make a lot of these by using machine casings and electronic circuits. And this stuff is going to become a lot more cheaper once I start using the blast furnace and start making other machines to make it more affordable. So I'm just going to go ahead and smelt these stacks here so we can make it easy. And also I want to show you guys the speed of the furnaces too. So this is the electric furnace. So all I just have to do is just put an ingot in here, and look at that. That's how fast it is. And the reason why it works is because sorry for my language. It's because we have 2 solar panels, and those are the ultimate variants. So we have crafted from the basic all the way to the ultimate variant, which makes it a lot easier. And if we collect all 8 of them and get the ultimatter, then we can make it to a quantum solar panel, which means it can hold a lot of energy and we have a good time on storing energy. So it's basically the only thing there that we can use, like literally the only battery that powers up the entire laboratory. Insane, isn't it? So I'm just going to go ahead and place down these cables, and we have this connected. So now all we just need is to get the casings. So the casings, all they're going to require is a lot of refined iron, a basic machine frame, and 2 electronic circuits. And luckily for us, we do have a lot of rubber because I have crafted a lot of the drains, which are very beneficial just to collect sap from the trees. I was thinking about making a greenhouse controller, but that might be problematic since we have to try to rewire all the cables and stuff. But luckily for us, we have a functional laboratory that's not even that bad at all. Like, I thought the laboratory is just going to be like ambiguous like the other ones, but this here is a lot more straightforward and it's not too confusing. So let's just go back in and get our rubber out and keep putting that rubber sap in and then getting that rubber out. So this is a repetitive process of what I'm doing now, because this is what it's like to make machines. Like, you just gotta watch me do the work and stuff like that. And I do need to get some more redstone dust. However, I could also just use glowstone, because glowstone is also a recipe to get the redstone. And I have to put it through the industrial centrifuge, and I have to get 10 just to convert it, because it has to go through these casings and stuff. But I don't think I have any zinc at the moment, so the only thing I can think of is, I don't know, start making the bare necessities of making these standard casings. So I just gotta have this in my conscience of just to craft dupes of it. Yeah, the way how I said dupes. And also, I also have a few of these here because I was still trying to craft the speed upgrades. So I think we could just make some sacrifices here and there. Yeah, I think that's what we could do. Just make a few sacrifices, because sacrifices are needed just to progress in science. So let's just get to these basic casings right here. Put on there and then get the refine. Then I can do that again, because we have an abundance of this refined iron. Unless someone destroys the farm, then I'll be really upset. But now we have standard machine casings, and I'm trying to see how many do we need here. So this is literally 9 at the bottom. So I would say roughly around maybe 30 or 35 or 36, and then 2 buckets of lava. I mean, it doesn't sound bad at all, but the only thing that we're lacking is redstone. So what's going to happen is we're going to go out and get some redstone, because we need it. And the good news for us is that we also have a Fortune 3 pickaxe, because we have collected these 2 villagers. One is just randomly spawned in, and the other one was traded nearby, and I was able to get Fortune 3. So our job is a little bit easier instead of just very hard and dragged on. So I'll just bring you guys right back once I have collected some more redstone and trying not to die, because dying would suck. Alright, so we're just going to go head right back up to our laboratory because we have collected enough redstone, and I hope this is enough redstone to get the job done, because this machine here, or these machines, are going to require a lot of redstone, and I will have to try to figure out a way to get more. And the only way I can think about getting more is through glowstone itself, but that's if I want to know how to get more of that glowstone to increase that count and then increase that. So it's more of like a whole domino effect. And look at this too. We also have a nice flag, big enough. I mean, it says USA, but I'm not sure because I don't see the, oh, hey, that it almost, oh, okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, I was trying to admire the flag. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Okay, so this flag here, it's a cool flag, but it's just missing the 50 stars, or maybe the 49 stars, whatever. But we have a flag in front of our laboratory, a nice looking flag. But anyways, we're going to proceed with the crafting of the crafted so we can finally get everything in without all this confusion. And also, I had to try to figure out what to do with all these hats. I mean, the only hat I have is really the magenta hat. This is like the finest hat there is. But for the rest of this stuff, I'll have to try to think about get rid of it or something. And I might keep the astronaut hat as well because who knows? I could just be wearing it just to be wearing it. So this is going to get kept. While everything else, I could probably just give it to somebody else, whoever needs it. And for sunglasses, I already have glasses. It's literally my contacts. I need it to see. Also, what I have not realized is I could also just use refined iron ingots more. And I will have to swap out all the cables because the HV cable transfers more energy than a gold cable. So I will have to think about using those cables instead, but that will also would mean I will have to make some more energy output. So I can keep that just in case, and let me try adding some rubber to it. I hope it's not like gold. Maybe it might require even more. Wait a minute. Do it that way. Okay, so this one's insulated, can be covered with wooden plates. Oh, for like disguise purpose. Cool. So I'll have to try to remember that this is a better cable than all these other cables. And let me just type cable to see which one is better. So the tin cable has less and the HV is a lot higher. We can also make a glass fiber one, which is literally glass, redstone with ruby, or with diamond, or with raw silver. And let me see the other ingredients. Even electrium with a diamond dust, which I will just say, yeah, I highly recommend HV cables for this one, since glass cables might be a bit too fancy, but it doesn't transfer a lot of energy. All right, so all we got to do is just put the last finishing touches on this. And now we should have ourselves a industrial blast furnace. I'm not sure why the heat isn't full, but buying us having the industrial blast furnace now, we can now heat things up. So we're going to try putting aluminum in there because aluminum will be the newest material that can replace refined iron. So we just get the 32 pieces of dust of the aluminum, and all we just got to do is just put it in here, and look at that. It starts processing it. We can also put iron bars in, iron armor, anything that's iron, and then we can just get it converted back into iron ingots. But it's not going to replace all of it, but it's going to replace some of it. So you haven't really lost anything, probably like a few ingots, but at least you're recycling. And yeah, I do apologize for my talky voice today because I inhaled, I don't know, some bad smuck somewhere. So I'm just, just keeping myself together. But we're just going to go up this room here, and let's see how much aluminum we got. So we have 4, and let me take 5. So now we have the ingots, and I want to see what's the next step, because I was trying to craft something, and I don't know what it was. This is the industrial trunk loader, and again, why is something unplugging and disconnecting. I'm about to crash out. All right, so I'm thinking it might have been my webcam. So I unplugged the webcam, and now it should not be a problem anymore. Now, I'm just going to see what we can do with aluminum. So we have energy crystals, insulated gold, or copper, whatever. Assembly. Okay, so this is the next step. Assembly machines. Because all I just need is some synthetic redstone crystal, what I already have. And I need to figure out to get a silicone plates, which is silicone cell with quartz dust and carbon cell. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Or I could just get redstone and empty cells, and then we can get mercury, silicone, pyrite, and ruby. Or electrolyzing. I mean, electrolyzing may take like a shorter time depending on what dusts we are using. Like obsidian with empty cell, we could get silicone that way, since that is a bit faster. But there's some other things and combinations that we can work with. Even just sand alone can also be beneficial. And it says 50 seconds. And by us having a speed upgrade, it should make it a lot faster. And I know where we can find an abundance of sand, which is really crazy. Because all I just gotta do is look at my map. And I did flow all over the place. I'm not sure why the server didn't like render everything, but I found a huge area full of sand when I was flying with this plane. So the next step is to make the assembly, since that will help us in the long run. And this is what you see here, and that's where we're going to make it now. And we gotta get some squids and glass pane in advanced circuit. So, I know it's been a lot for me to explain because I have done a lot of things. So, I'll bring you guys right back with the materials so we can proceed with making the assembly machine. Okay, so this is the last ingredient to make the assembling machine. There we go. Now we have the assembling machine, and I will have to add some more room around here. So let me just break this and place it right that. Now we have ourselves the assembling machine. Means life should be twice as easy without overcomplicating. So let me try to look at those control modifier things. I don't know what the things are called, but they're very important for computer, parts and stuff. So where is it? So we have the electronic circuit. So if we use the assembly machine, all we just need is some silicone and 2 copper plates. So this eliminates the use of using redstone, refined iron, and all we just need is some silicone, in which we just need to put it through a blast furnace. And this will also empty the cell. That's very interesting. So it uses stuff, which is cool. But I'm trying to figure out how to empty most of this stuff. And I know that we can make tanks, but I had to try to figure how to get rid of it. Even this coolant water, I mean, it's kind of like a lot of uses that we have to try to deal with. So, yeah, I don't know too much about disposing cells. I mean, I know how to lose cells, but I don't know how to store them properly so I can access them. Like, something important with those cells. I know we have sulfur, methane, helium, all the other stuff. Science stuff. That's how you guys call it. Science stuff. So, I have to look at this compressed air. Let me just sort from A to Z. And let's see where that cell is. See, right here. So, if I press U, chemical reacting. So, if I do it this way, it can help me get a water cell with hydrogen. Oh, air. Okay, so this is H2O. But won't that empty? I don't know if it empties it. We also have nitrogen dioxide. We also have sodium persulfate cell. So I believe this is just oxygen in a nutshell. So compressed air is actually oxygen. So it's oxygen, and if we have hydrogen cell, we could put it through the canning machine. Isn't that right? No, not the canning machine. Is it the assembly, right? I don't know, because I'm just lost, because this is something very new. Oh, chemical reacting. I'm such a slow scientist. All right, so if you do it that way, that's how you get that. And then we had to try to dispose the water, because we already have water. We have infinite water. And all I just got to do is just pour it back in here. And we just get our empty cells. This is another way to recycle, because compressed air is literally what it is. So now I have learned that we can indeed recycle these or repurpose them. Just put them back in the water, the dirty water that it came from. So this was technically chemical type water. Now we dump it in the water. Now it's contaminated water. Wow. I'm really cruel. All right, so this is the carbon cell. In order for us to make it, we got to put it through the centrifuge, or we got to put it through this method. I mean, I believe this method is a better method, either coal or charcoal. Actually, we have tons of charcoal that's just sitting in the chest, taking up all the room. So that would mean that this is enough just for us to get what we need. Because in order for us to make it, we could just put it through the electrolyzer. But I had to convert all these into crushed variants of each other. And I believe the grinder for that one is a bit slow. Let me go put it in a fast one. There we go. Now life is very easy for us just to convert carbon into silicone. And I'm just going to walk over here and get the quartz dust, because this quartz dust will carry. So we're going to put it in what it was, this one. I believe it was this one. I do get lost with these recipes because they kind of change too often. Or is it the electrolyzer? I believe it's the electrolyzer. So where is that electrolyzer at? Because I know. Okay, I'm just a bit lost. Okay, all these machines look very alike. Don't judge me. Okay, please don't judge me. So we have charcoal dust, like they say, and then empty cell. There we go. That's how it's done. We're pro professionals. We know what we're doing. We know how to science. You guys are learning from the master. Okay, so we go up here and we take our aluminum out. We put the carbon cell in here with the quartz dust, and it's going to run that process. I can also speed this one up as well with the upgrades, but I'm going to have to craft some more upgrades if I really want to apply to all these machines. So let me check what machine that I'm not going to use currently. I know the canning machine kind of just puts things together, but we can still make more, because this blast furnace needs to, needs a little upgrade. Okay, it is drinking up more energy the way it's taking it, which is not good at all, which would mean that this blast furnace is very power hungry. Not really a good machine to depend on. So that would mean I had to make some more of those, or maybe make it the storage upgrade for like electricity and stuff. Maybe like a MSEU, wherever they call it. Because I don't understand these abbreviations. I'm a scientist, but I don't understand abbreviations that well. So this is what I'm talking about, the MFE. And to do this, it's literally the assembly. And we just need one silicone plate, which requires 2 silicone cells. So all of that is doing just for one plate. It's insane. The math is just crazy. Look at it. That's barely any energy. Crazy. Maybe there's probably too many overclocker upgrades. That's probably just my opinion. And if I remove this one, okay, so that's a little bit good. Okay, that still doesn't change nothing. All of that just for a piece of silicone. That's crazy. All that just for a piece of silicone. Man, that's crazy. Which means we definitely have to make some more power sources instead of just using 2 solar panels. And what happens, it puts it together. It's going to take some time, but luckily for us, these machines are not high tier like the blast furnace. And then we got ourselves the energy crystal, We finally got it, and we can also make more of these because they're very important to make the nano set. Because if I look into the catalog, just like typing nano sets or nano suit, whatever they call it, all it just requires is just one energy crystal. That's all it requires. One energy crystal. Well, two here, which is four. So six energy crystals in total. And getting that redstone one was a little bit harder. So let me just type redstone synthesizer, synthetic. You need 32 redstone dust and a diamond. That's why getting redstone in these cases is a little bit tricky, because redstone apparently is very scarce. And if I want to get more just to make the nano set, that would mean we got to get more. And we also have to make some more silicone just to keep it all together, which means we're actually using redstone more often, while the diamond itself is just there. That means redstone, iron are literally the important players. So now we have the crystals, and I can begin adding the recipes, but it seems like carbon plate... oh, these are coal plates. So what's a carbon plate? Carbon mesh. Okay, so is that stuff. Okay, so they were talking about these pieces. So this would mean the coal dust that I was referring earlier. We will have to convert this into mesh. We can always get more coal. No need to worry. And how do I get to the carbon plates again? The compressor is going to do all the work, which makes it easy. I know we don't have enough energy within these solars, but we got to figure out some way. But we can begin making the chest plates at least. And now we have is the nano chest plates. And we got to charge this up. But the only way you can do that is through using battery boxes or using the MFE. And you look at that. It's going to drink all of this really fast. I can also deposit this too, I believe. But we have a nano chest plate. So I might just maybe put it at like 25k energy. And then I could put the helmet there once I start getting that mesh together. So we have crafted the nano helmet now, and we have half of the nano set. This is a W. We're like very close, like extremely close to making a full nano set. But I know there's a lot for me to research for the other half, which I gotta get 2 more energy crystals and another 2, which is 4. And we also had to make a lot of carbon plates, because that's very important. And sorry for that little hiccup there, because I have been running my mouth for a very long time through the whole process of the Tech Reborn. And this Tech Reborn experiment is very insane. It's just very, very insane. Like, we can become so strong without even having to wear diamond. But we're almost halfway there. But I could still wear diamond just in case. But this set here will just make things a little bit easier. And I believe I can also click this to enable night vision. So if I put that on, now we have night vision, but I believe it's going to burn our suit's energy. So we can now see in the dark without any torches, unless I keep this thing nicely charged. And let me just put this back in to get it fully charged so we can see underground without placing torches. But I believe that's it for this video. We have done a lot today, and the nano helmet is going to charge so we can use it for our nightly adventures in the caves, and we can try to work on getting the other half set once we return back, because this is a flex right now. And we also have the blast furnace as well, so we can make some more silicone plates, because the only thing that we got to keep getting is a lot of carbon and a lot of other things. And I'm not sure what slithered off my desk. But once we make this entire set, we're ready. And then all we just got to work on is getting the quantum set and making other things with aluminum and steel. Anyways, I hope everybody finds this video enjoyable and educational at the same time. And if you like the video, leave a like. If you want to watch more of me do more crazy experiments on the Craftopia server, then hit that subscribe button. And also, I do have a Discord server that you guys can join as well, just to chat with me about mod-related stuff, but I don't know everything, but I'm still learning in the process. And for Tech Reborn, this is a new start for me to learn more about Tech Reborn, because I did do a showcase on this, and it was very limited knowledge, but now I'm starting to learn more about how to get the items, and it will be a lot easier in the future. Anyways, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time in my laboratory.